Good morning, Tarosphere. It's Holly from Cape Cod Creatures, and I am here today with a quick Breakfast Club chat, because who doesn't love a Breakfast Club chat, right? Got my iced coffee. My dog is laying down behind me somewhere. My cat's making trouble. So yeah, I've had a lot going on since the last time I was on. I missed the live chat this weekend. Good morning, Creative Coffee. How are you? So yeah, I've had a lot going on since the last time I did a live chat. I missed Sunday's live chat because I took a Reiki 1 class, which was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting. Let's go ahead and go with that. What else have I been doing? Oh, if anybody wants a reading or anything this morning, it's been a while since I've done some readings, so go ahead and good morning to Spirit, or mid-afternoon for you, rather. Wonderful to see you on. Always love when you pop on my chats. So yeah, I don't know. I have so basically we're going to chat this morning a little bit about spirit guide work, because that's what I did in the spiritual toolbox class, and we're going to chat a little bit this morning about Reiki, because that's what I did in the Reiki class, or different, like, I don't know, different experiences during a Reiki 1 class for you guys. I don't know if anybody's done a Reiki class. But yeah, I don't know. So that's what I thought we would talk about this morning. Just putting on my hair clips so my headband stays put. And then I can do some readings for if you want. I've got Heart of Stars readily available, plus a couple of Two Spirit, thank you. So yeah, so yeah, spirit guide work. I took a spirit guide class at one point, so it was basically like that night's class was a rehashing. I don't know, spirit guide meditations, it's basically a sacred garden meditation where you go to meet your spirit guide. And I didn't get a whole lot of, like, I'm really bad at visualizing, surprisingly. I'm a very visual person, so you think it would come easily and naturally, but my ability to imagine myself somewhere, like in, like, you know, like little kids, like, this cardboard box is a spaceship, I can see the whole thing, yay, like that. Really just, not that I was bad at it as a child, I was much better at it as a child, but now I'm just not that good. Oh my goodness, good morning, Amy, how are you? Oh, a breakfast smoothie, that's delicious. I'm having my breakfast coffee. Coffee and watermelon, yum, breakfast of champions. So yeah, it's basically just a sacred garden meditation, which is where, you know, you enter your sacred garden and then you go through a door and then you sit down and you meet your spirit guide there. I don't know, not too much. I saw the color blue and I saw the face of a lion, like, come out of the blue, but no names, no like chatting back and forth, no inner voice, nothing, none of that. So that was kind of, it's something though, because the last time I did it, I got like like the snow, like the bars and lines and the beep, no signal tone. And then let's see. Then Reiki 1 class was really interesting. I'm probably going to retake it, but with a different teacher. My teacher wasn't nice, and not that I didn't learn a lot from her, but I'm a different kind of learner than she was. A different, you know, she was a certain type of teacher, and I'm a certain type of learner. Oh, good. I'm glad you're enjoying your coffee. And in the office, good times. Two spirits in the office. My favorite tarot deck. Oh, why do you have to ask me that question? Creative Coffee wants to know what my favorite tarot deck is. Okay, so I would have to say So far, my all-time favorite has been the Bird Tarot, which I really am working on trying to get wholesale. So anyway, why don't I tell that story really quick? So the Norasan Bird Tarot, it's that little tarot deck. Let me grab it. I've got it in my purse. Let me use it like a bunch of times. It's this. It's the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but with birds. So this deck you can only get through Japan. And in Japan does not tend to import small orders, like small items. So yeah, so you can't really, in order to get this deck, you have to sign up through a proxy shipper. You have to at least be a little bit familiar with very broken English, and then you have to order it and then ship it to the proxy shipper, and then they open it, repackage it, and send it to you, and they charge you a fee. So that makes this little deck, which as far as yen yen, it's like 4,800 yen. So that translates to about $50. It makes this little $50 deck a $70 deck. Thankfully, like I ordered a bunch of other things from Japan at the same time. Like when I proxy ship, I never order just one thing. I order a bunch of things and have them send it. So I got in contact with the people, with the artist who put me in contact deck. And they are happy to wholesale to me, but I have to order 120 decks in order to get a discount that makes sense. Me to sell it in the States. Basically, when you retail something, you want to get at least half of what you paid for it. So I have to buy 120 decks and pay for the shipping, and that is going to cost approximately $2,600. I do not have $2,600 right now. Well, technically I do, but it is bookmarked for things like rent on the shop and bills and payment of other debts. Like I've got the loan from the construction of the dog wash and stuff going on. So I just do not have the extra $2,600. So the new plan is like, oh, I can like, if this is like 1,000 or less, like I can totally shell it out and then have this deck and then I can, whatever, it's not a big deal. But it turned out to be a little bit more than I was expecting. So because of the quantity, and I tried to get them to lower it, but they wouldn't lower the when the less you order, the less the discount on the retail price. So it's still a deck I would have had to have retailed for $75 at that point, and I'm not about to do that. So it's a cute little deck. It's an amazing deck. It's a unique deck, but it is not a $75 deck. So anyway, I've decided that when I sell the shop, I've got some interested buyers, and knock on wood, I'm trying not to jinx it. But when they buy the shop, I am going to take a chunk of the money from that and invest it into that, because I think I could sell those decks. But right now I just don't have, like, unless some amazing person comes in and spends $1 bajillion and they spend $1 bajillion every day. I just don't have the money to invest in decks that, I mean, it's going to take me a little while to sell those. I'm not going to sell them overnight, but there's that. So like, I want to carry these. I want to sell them. I know I can sell them. I just don't have the $2,500, $2,600 earmarked for it. So anyway, when I do get them in, they will be $50 with shipping included. So there's that. But that is the Bird Tarot, and that is my absolute favorite tarot right now, with close seconds coming in with like Pagan Otherworlds and Heart of Stars and what have you. So long story, but there it is. Okay, and then Amy said Reiki 1 certified and you need a refresher course because you never ended up using it, because you never felt like you could really feel. Yeah, that's kind of how I left. I mean, like, my hands were a little buzzy and my face was a little numb, and I definitely felt a little something. But I am going to take, there's another Reiki 1 class coming up the 12th and the 13th with a teacher that I really like. So I'll probably wind up taking that one. If I have the dollar bills for that. Two Spirit wants to know, because I'm selling my shop, he wants to know if I'm thinking about opening a New Age shop and I could sell tarot, oracle, and crystals. Honestly, Two Spirit, I don't know if I have any more retail left in me, if that makes any sense. I've been a small business owner in a very seasonal area for 5 years, and to say that it has made me lose faith in my community is an understatement. I do have a nice little local following. Yep, that's Zoe, and she's sniffing around in my supply closet. She likes to sniff. I've got like, I make costumes and stuff on the side, and some of which involve a little bit of real fur. So she likes to sniff around in there. Yeah, 16 years in retail. Shop, it's a little bit different because every time somebody insults your shop or says that you don't carry anything good or goes to buy it on Amazon, it's like an extra, it's like an extra twist of the knife. Because that's your livelihood, that's your taste. They're talking about decisions that you have made. It's so hard. It's so hard. And people like to play this game where they come in and they tell me about all the shit that they bought at PetSmart or online, and then they leave. And I don't know, like, what is, like, do you have anything better to do this morning than, like, let's go see Holly and tell her about all the stuff we bought somewhere else? And I can't handle it. Like, I've had customers chew me out for charging $1 more on something than the big box stores. And I'm just like, really, $1? Like, I'm still not making the margin I need to be making on this. So I can offer it to you at a price that's competitive, and you're still not happy because I'm charging $1 more. Like, it's ridiculous. Also, my area has a really bad, for those of you who think Cape Cod is amazing and miraculous, it does. Like, I just posted some photos on my Instagram. Like, it has like some amazing areas and it's beautiful and awesome. But there's also a huge heroin and poverty problem. That's a little bit self-created, I think, which sounds awful. It really sounds awful. But the fact of the matter is this is a seasonal area. And not everybody can afford to live or has the mental fortitude to make it in an area that's economically depressed 10 months out of the year. Yet they insist on staying, and then like the kids get bored, they start taking heroin, or people hurt themselves and they get addicted to painkillers, and they stay addicted to painkillers because there's nothing else to do for 10 months out of the year. So in my area, an area where all the social services are concentrated, and it's supposed to be a huge tourism hub, but unfortunately, you know, like the homeless shelter is like a block away from the main shopping district. There are 72 social services on top of the homeless shelter, which I'm not saying that there shouldn't be a homeless shelter. There totally should. Like, I'm going to make myself sound like a monster right now, but it shouldn't be a block away from downtown. But because the hospital is located there and it's sewered, they just keep cramming all these social services and halfway houses and recovery houses and like all this stuff. So we have a transient population that just makes it even less conducive to vacationers and to locals who would spend the money in a downtown. Like, they're not coming to a downtown if they're going to be like, I can't even cross the street for coffee without getting panhandled like at least once or twice. The same guy tried to panhandle from me, like, and they're aggressive about it. It's awful. It's like, I'm pretty, like, I'm a broad, I can handle pretty much anything you throw my way. So for me to be like, no, this is huge, this is a huge problem, like, throwing needles out of my window boxes at the shop like once a week, I shouldn't be doing that. So, but I am, and that's the reality of where I live. So I don't know if I did decide to do retail again, it wouldn't be here, which is really sad because Cape Cod's my home and I really, really love it. But I want to talk about something else now because it's really depressing. Yeah, New Age is a nice niche. The thing is, though, Two Spirit, where I'm like, it's Massachusetts, which is it's a very liberal state, which is amazing. and it's a stone's throw away from Salem. So when I tell you that, like, not necessarily every town, but every like cluster of towns has New Age shops, like, we're good. We don't need any more New Age shops. That would just be a watering down of the market. So like, I don't think it's really necessary. Like, it's a very, like, we've got some really good apothecaries and herbal shops, and like, so we've got like a nice there's a nice business here to support, like, as far as that stuff is concerned. It's a little scattered, but again, if I was to do it, I wouldn't do it on Cape. Oh yeah, it's like, I think Salem's like a 2-hour drive for me. Like, it's not that far. So if you look at the state of Massachusetts, it's like a brick, and then it like scoops down into a hook. I'm on the hook. So, and Salem is like, beep, it's like if the hook is, Salem is like somewhere over here. So it's really not that far away for me. But yeah, it seems far away because I can never get away from the store. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Like, I thought about it. Like, I really did. I thought long and hard about it. But if I was to do anything in retail again, it would be concentrated internet sales with like stuff that was really hard to find. For example, decks that, like, Japan has a lot of majors only decks and like stuff that's exclusive to Japan. So I would probably wind up trying to like get some of that in to sell to the US, and a few other, like, I don't know. I would figure it out. Honestly, I'd want to make a go in my costume shop. As you can see, I've got like ridiculous amounts of art supplies. I think I would want to try that first. Let me sneeze. Okay, so anyway, readings and whatnot. If you guys want readings, all you have to do is let me know. So, and Reiki 1, Amy was saying that she never really felt the energy from Reiki 1. I've heard that before. I've heard that a lot of people don't really feel much of anything until they get their Reiki 2. Oh, thank you, Brenda. Oh, good morning. I didn't even see you pop on there. Look at, there you are. Oh, thank you, Amy. But yeah, Reiki 1 and Reiki 1 versus Reiki 2. Apparently, some people have said that they never really felt much of anything until they took the Reiki 2 certification. I think the most important thing is going to be, was I ranting when you came in? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, confidence is another. For me, it's turning off my, I call it my atheist brain, my logical thinking centers. Like, that's just a coincidence, or your hands aren't really tingling, or like they're tingling because you were sitting on them, or like some sort of ridiculous. And then I don't know, I think again, where Reiki 1, it feels so watered, like it's supposed to be all about self-healing and whatnot, and some people say that until you get the symbols, it's very watered down. Talking about $1. Oh, the dollar difference with people. Yeah, it's so strange. Like, this one woman, I was doing, I was special ordering her a frozen dog food, which I can't return, by the way. I'm stuck with it. I was special ordering her a special raw food for her dog, and she came in and she stopped coming in to get it. So I've got like a couple of bags of it left. She stopped coming in to get it, but I do see her. She did come in to give her dog a bath. And when I tell you that this woman's energy is just gross, it is just gross. Like, it's so, it feels like molasses, but gross. If there was a different way to describe it, like, you just look at her and you're like, like you're just, and then she opens her mouth and your frown is even frownier. If you could get, like, if your frown could reach the floor, like, yeah, well, even like, but it's like, you can't bring a garage sale in. Like, so Brenda said she did a garage sale and was selling something for $1. They wanted to pay 50 cents, and that's true. Like, people haggle at garage sales, and it's really silly to haggle on $1. Like I could understand a larger priced item at a garage sale. And a garage sale, if you're going to haggle, that's like probably a more appropriate forum for it. But I get people trying to haggle me down. Oh my God, I dropped all these cards. Hang on. I get people trying to haggle me down. I carry these dresses and I wait for the last season because like they're very expensive dog dresses. Dog clothes are like really ridiculously expensive sometimes. The dresses are beautiful. They double as harnesses. I get them when they start to clear out for like whatever season is coming next. Like buy ahead. Well, I buy behind. So I buy spring when they're clearing out for fall when they're clearing out for summer, like that kind of thing. And then I'll sell them appropriately, like for the appropriate coming season. So I take a $50 dress that you would like, if you were paying for this, like when it comes out, it would be a $50 dress. I stick it on my shelf for half. I take a $50 dress. I figured out a way to make it a $25 dress. And I had somebody try to tell me it was only worth 10 the other day. Because there was a little, somebody put it back wrong and a piece of the Velcro caught on a little piece of the lace. And they were just like, you should discount that to $10 for me. And I was like, absolutely not. This is already, yeah, it was ridiculous. But anyway, back to this woman. What was Creative Coffee's question? How to support yourself through the rest of the day. All right, so let's shuffle for you, Creative. This woman, anyway, her dog is amazing, which is like so weird because it's like, how could a dog that nice be hanging out with a woman whose energy is just so yucky? Like it's palpable. She comes in and the mood of the room just changes. And she's like, yeah, I'm here to give my dog a bath. And I'm like, okay, because she's got like this weird voice too. So she's giving her dog a bath and she's just like, first she gives me a really hard time about this like one shampoo that only she uses. I'm not buying a gallon of shampoo. I have it on the shelf, by the way, for retail sale. Like she can buy a bottle of it and then use it in the tub. Like I'm not like, if you want to bring your own bubbles, you can bring your own bubbles. That's fine. But it's this one shampoo. And a gallon of it costs $40, which is when I buy the shampoos for the wash. I buy like a gallon jug, I put a pump on it, and I pump it and I dispense the shampoo. But anything like a little more specialty, you can buy off my shelf. So she wants me to carry this. My dogs are about to lose their door privileges, by the way. Like aren't they so cute with all their barking? So she's giving her dog a bath and she's giving me a hard time because I won't just let her open a bottle of the shampoo to use that shampoo, and I won't buy a $40 gallon bottle of shampoo so she can pay me $25 to bathe her dog. And this is on top of like other things she's really harangued me about in the future. So I have had it up to here with her and her negativity and her ridiculousness. And then finally I was just like, hey, remember that food you had me bringing in? I still have a couple of bags of it for you. Are you going to be getting it? And she's like, no, I'm getting it somewhere else. Because I found it $2 cheaper. And I'm just like, funny, because that food has what's called a MAP, which is a minimum asking price, which as retailers, we cannot charge anything lower than MAP. Because if we do, we get the line pulled forever. So somebody's selling it under MAP. She had me special order this food. She finds it somewhere else. So we get into this huge fight because I'm like, well, I'm going to call my sales rep then because somebody's selling it under MAP and they're not supposed to be. Creative, you just have some jumpers. So we get into this huge fight. She's like, so you're going to punish me because, you know, somebody else is selling the food cheaper. Why don't you just sell the food cheaper? And I was like, at that point, I'm selling it for what I got it for. Like if I sell it, like I only make $2 on a $20 bag of food, I'm making $2. That's how thin the margins are on dog food. So we get into this huge knockdown, drag out fight. It's ridiculous. And I wind up feeling awful because she's never coming back. And I will totally miss her dog, but I'm not going to miss her. Like I'm over it. For $2, like, and it's not the first time she's done that to me. She had me special order green tripe, which I don't know if you've ever smelled, but smells nasty. Wow, you just have some flippers. I'm just going to go ahead and read those because those are your flippers. And then she never came back for it because she found it somewhere cheaper. She had me bring in something else. I forget what it was. It was like the first encounter I had with her, and she never came back for it because she found it somewhere cheaper. So bye Felicia. like I'm just kind of over her. All right. So creative coffee. Your jumpers include the moon, the Page of Swords, whom I absolutely love, is a very young Ron Weasley in this. Because I've always said that the swords, like the Court of Swords, has always very much reminded me of the Weasleys. I'm shutting this door. Ripley, Zoe, stop it. That's a little bit better. Not by much. The neighbor's like hanging out in his own yard, and how dare he? According to them. And then you also got the Three of Cups, which is a celebratory scene from Mamma Mia. The moon card, I'm not a fan of this moon card, honestly. I love Heart of Stars, and this is the one where I think he just crammed like way too much in there. You've got the Beast with the Rose, you've got the Little Prince, and then you also have Marilyn Monroe in the background, and then there's like a lobster, which kind of looks like a face hugger from Predator. Too much going on in this. So when I do read that moon card, I feel like it's one of those, there's too much going on in your life. So that's kind of how I read this one. There's like too much going on for you today, and there's some stuff that you forgot about that you probably are going to run into. Like it doesn't feel like you've got too much going on today, but you're going to have a lot going on because you don't, like, there's something you're forgetting. Page of Swords is like it's a fresh mental energy, maybe even a little bit of news. So if I were you, I would just kind of, I don't know. Again, I hate court cards. I almost like pretend that they don't exist. But Ron Weasley, he approaches things. He's very strategic when he thinks about things. Even when he was younger, like, you know, he liked to play a lot of chess and whatnot. And he was also very like, he was the heart of the team. He was the heart. So, you know, approach it with a lot of like heart and loyalty, but also be very strategic about how you approach your day. And don't forget to celebrate the good times when the little moments, like the good things. Don't forget to kind of enjoy those while you have them. Like, you know, that 5 minutes you take to brew a coffee, or if you're invited out for drinks or something after work, like just kind of celebrate when the day is over. Like that's kind of how I read that. So we do a lot of readings about your days ahead, and they all seem to be kind of the same. Like there's usually like some stuff and you forget what's going, like, but you've forgotten some stuff. It's like kind of like one of those, shit, I gotta cram that in now too. And then also like take the time to enjoy the good things. I feel like that's a reoccurring theme for you. But anyway, that's a reading. Does anybody else want a reading? So yeah, I don't know. That's just so, I mean, like, I'm just kind of, I think I'm at the point in my life where I don't want that kind of negativity in it. And something that negative happens to me at least once a day. And I don't know if it's, like, I've fallen out of love with the store, if that makes any sense. So I would really like to not have to talk about it after this live chat. So we probably won't bring it up again for a while. At least until I have some news about the sale, because I feel like the more I talk about it, the more negativity I draw to it, which is really, like, I don't know, manifesting in practice, right? The more you think about the negative things that happen to you, the more negative things happen to you. So I've been trying to be a little more positive, which I suppose is what this whole spiritual journey is about. Like, you know, kind of put my wishes and intentions out to the universe, and in the meantime, like, try to draw some good things to you. So, you know, I'm hoping I see some puppies that I really like today. I'm hoping I have some good sales, and I'm hoping that the day goes by without, it would be amazing. I've had the store for 5 years, Brenda. 5 very long years. Yeah, I don't know. I've had the store for 5 years, and the dog wash has been a part of it for almost a year now. It'll be a year at the end of August. So yeah, that is where we are at as far as that's concerned. Okay. Anybody else want a reading, or are we going to do some general energy, what have yous? Maybe we'll do a general energy reading. I haven't used Spirit de la Lune in a while. Oh, you know what's coming up tonight too? I think tonight I'm finally going to film my Shadows Tarot. About my first impressions review. Because it is a deck that you need to spend a little bit of time with if you get it, because it's its own system. It's not a tarot, it's an oracle. But it definitely has some layers and a lot of material that I thought I was familiar with, but turns out I'm unfamiliar with. That coffee is amazing. I kickstarted a cold brewer. If memory serves, they still have it on. It's called the Arctic Cold Brewer, cold brew coffee maker, and they still have it on Indiegogo. So if you want one, you should get one. But cold brew coffee is so much better for you. It's way less acidic, and you don't have to use as much sugar or cream. Sometimes I do, because I basically like a coffee milkshake in the morning, which is really bad for me, but it is what it is. Yeah, it is really. Hi, Carice, how are you? Cosmic Creeper, good morning. So we're doing readings. If you want readings, it's kind of, we're at the wire. If you want something, go ahead and plunk a question in real quick. Otherwise, I'm just doing a general energy reading for everybody for today, using Spirit de la Lune. So yeah, cold brew coffee making is so good. It is so good. Okay, Amy, what is your quick question? Shoot, madam. So hot coffee, when you brew hot coffee, what happens is the hot water takes some of the oils and stuff. It takes some of the oils and stuff in the bean, and it makes it acidic. It changes the flavor profile. I'm not exactly sure of the science behind it. All I know is that when you hot brew coffee, it is it's definitely have you ever had a cup of coffee and then you felt your tumbly, feel rumbly? It draws out a lot of the acid in the bean. Cold brewing keeps the flavor profile of the bean a little more natural and less acidic, so you can drink more of it. Completely different flavor profile. I would say that cold brew coffee almost tastes it tastes very it's somewhere if you have coffee and you have chocolate and in the middle is mocha. Hot brew coffee is coffee, and then cold brew coffee is here on the scale. There's some slight chocolate notes in the bean. It's also stronger. You can brew a really strong batch, so you can I don't know. I like my coffee really strong. So if you're somebody who likes a really strong coffee and a really I don't know, it tastes so much better. It's really hard to describe until you've had it. There's an easy way to make it is to get a coarse ground coffee and then and a cheesecloth. And then you take a Tupperware container and you measure out, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 cups of water, and then 15 tablespoons of coarse ground coffee, and you put it in the you put it both in the Tupperware container, and then you let it sit there for 2-3 days, and then you strain the liquid over a cheesecloth into another container, and then that's your cold brew coffee, and it makes a concentrate. Amy wants to know if she is on the right track with committing to a running practice. I would say yes, but let's see what Sacred Creators has to say. It's been a while since I've used this one. Okay. I mean, you know, committing to a running, like, a sticker shock, yeah, well, it seems like you go through the coffee a lot faster, but I mean, like, most people go through a pound of coffee in a week anyway. When they make like a pot of coffee in the morning and they only drink half the coffee and they dump it out. Well, not a pound of coffee in a week, a pound of coffee in a month. So I have made 4 carafes of coffee. I'm not even through a pound of coffee yet. 15 tablespoons per. I probably have another one, so I'm going to be able to make about 5 carafes worth of coffee. Each carafe lasts me about a week. It's a month and a half. So I'm getting a month and a half. And as somebody who just buys iced coffee anyway, like it's actually not as much of a sticker shocker for me. So, yay for me. So Amy wants to know, good morning, Colleen, how are you? All right, so Amy wants to know, I want you to have that one, and I want you to have that one. Okay. Sue, my favorite self-helpy deck. You got manifesting and doing and gratitude again. So I think like these are both very positive cards. Are either of them? None of these are tarot related. Because the first few cards in this deck relate to the tarot. So manifesting and doing. I don't know if you can see the design. It's like eyes and a little. It's the third eye chakra, and then gratitude again. I think it's one of those, like, you know your own body. You'll be able to tell whether or not you're close to getting an injury. But in the meantime, you have wanted time to yourself. You have wanted a little bit of self-care, and you're doing it. Thing, like, you know, shoehorn some time for yourself into the day. Like, you're a busy lady, right? You know, you've wanted better health. You've wanted to running again. I think like starting a running practice isn't bad. Like, it's good. You're doing good. And then gratitude again. I think this is a card to be grateful for that time that you have alone while you're out there on the road, you know, running around, or if you're not alone, like out there with friends. I think that's the other thing too. Like, you know, you were wanting a little more like adult relationship and whatnot in your life. So you join that running club, you know, the running practice, like you make friends through hobbies. Like, you don't, you know, for grown-ass women and for grown-ass men, there's no like, let's make friends in school and at work and blah, blah, blah. So up a new hobby, you've created yourself some you time, you're doing something for self-care, you're making new friends. This isn't a bad thing for you. So yes, I think that you're on the right track. Just remember to be grateful for it and thankful for it. So, oh my goodness, look at that. Okay, and then I will do a general energy reading. It was such a beautiful night last night. I will say I had a really nice little I don't know, like a nice little, I'm not going to call it a coincidence moment, but last night I went out to the car last night to grab my bag, because I left my bag and my book and whatnot in the car, because that's what I do, and I like to read and stuff before bedtime. So I went out to the car and I looked up, and there was a beautiful first quarter moon, and there was amazing stars, and like Orion, like all the good constellations, and Cassiopeia, and the sky was absolutely beautiful. For some reason, there was like very minimal light pollution. I get a lot of light pollution where I live because it's the hub of Cape Cod. So to like see some awesome stars and stuff. And there weren't too many planes flying around in the sky, because normally like if I see a star and it's like really bright, and I'm just like, that's a plane, like whatever. So I was like looking up and admiring, and I was just kind of like, you know, like my spiritual toolbox class teacher had told me a story, but she's like, oh yeah, you know, I asked my spirit guides for a shooting star to wish on, and I got a shooting star, and I was like, that would be so totally rad. And I was kind of thinking about that while I was looking up at the sky, and I'll be damned if it was a shooting star. And I have never seen one. If that, like, totally sad. Like my life has been totally sad. I have never seen a shooting star. So I've finally seen a shooting star, which was really amazing. And then I was like, oh, shooting star, send me a second one. And they were just like, bitch, you got one, be grateful. So that was awesome. So in honor of the amazing moon that I got last night, and the amazing night sky, we're going to use Spirit de la Lune and do a general energy reading for us for today. How does that sound? Dun, dun, dun. I want that one. Oh, and I want that one. And I want that one. Okay. So the first thing we got was a waning crescent, which is support. And we got the new moon, new beginnings. I wish these weren't so shiny. And then we got waning gibbous with dream. So we got a waning crescent and a waning gibbous, which kind of indicates like almost like a moving backwards, but still a dying down of like some sort of intense energy for us. So let's see. Support, new beginnings, and dream. Yeah, so we got earth and water in here, and then we also have air. Yeah, I think with you know, new beginnings aren't necessarily a bad thing. And I think like again with like the summer is kind of winding down. We've got one more month of it left. We've got I don't know, like I feel like it's like one of those like, yeah, we've got some energies winding down for us, but we're gonna see like a little like boop, a little like before it finally like a little extra spike of whatever kind of we're trying to tie up now hasn't necessarily, it's not done. Like there's still a few little humps to get over before it really kind of makes its way to the new moon phase where we can really begin something new. But at this point, I think we need to be bolstering and relying on our support systems. And if we don't have any, we need to start putting them in place. So whether or not it is a solitary support system, like if it's again like a good system of self-care, or if it's, you know, like the emotional support of our friends and family, like if that's something that we need, then we need to really start getting that into place. And dream, I'm going to take this to mean literal dreams. I feel like sometimes, you know, our subconscious and maybe whatever other forces you believe are out there like to send us messages in dreams. So I think it's like, boop, time, like especially when we hit that little extra hump, it's time to really start paying attention to our dreams, especially where like we kind of want hints for where we want to go next, or wondering why something isn't like really winding down and resolving. And then we can kind of there into the, like, you know, we can take our new moon phase and like we can roll from there with like the thing that we need to do, like the thing that we can, you know, the moving on and the new thing, the new adventure, the next phase for us. So yeah, that is our reading. I like to read these as a triangle. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can see them very well, but yeah, there's a lot of glare. I'm not a big fan of the glare. But yeah, that is the reading. Anyway, I feel like my readings are way better at night. I don't feel very turned on in the morning. Is that weird? Or at least in the afternoon. Basically, when I get a coffee in me. So, all right, it's 10:03. I was supposed to open the shop at 10. So I'm going to get going. If you guys have any questions or whatnot, you know where to stick them in the doobly-doo below. And I hope you all have an amazing day. I'm going to be working on the Tarot Sphere forum a little bit today. I found code to make it a little more welcoming to those who haven't signed up yet. Apparently, when you're not signed in, like when you're signed in as a guest, it looks blank in some of the areas I shut off to like general public viewing. So I found some code that's just like, oh, this section is just for, like, just sign up to be a member. It's free. You can see it. So I'll be doing that today, probably putting away some bakery cookies. Spirit, awesome. Thank you for hanging out with us. Brenda, thank you. Yep, I do have more energy later. It's weird. I'm not a morning person. I never have been, and I don't think I ever will be. Amy, have a wonderful day. Have fun on your run if you're taking one today. Colleen, awesome to see you. Cosmic, always a pleasure. Carice, Creative Coffee, everybody who I haven't said hi to or bye to. Awesome. Have an awesome afternoon. Bye, guys.